Hiya, this is Netty and welcome to a brand new series of Sqaishey's castle. So I am going to be building Sqaishey a castle and she is going to be building me. When I crouch in it, it's like, whoop. Let's see if we can do it as a dance. Sorry, so I'll go down first. So, whoop,
okay.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, I am actually going to tell you about the series. So I'm building Sqaishey a castle. She has given me a list of 10 things that I have to include in the castle. You pushing me into the water?
Yeah.
Or are you going through a portal? Just let you. I'm never going to get to explain what we're actually doing in this series.
Just carry on. It's fine. Go on, Netty.
So if I end up drowning, how deep's this water?
You won't drown. It's only 1 block deep.
Just checking.
I'm drowning.
Are you trying to say I need a wash?
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, so we are going to be building the castle. We've got 10 items, but on top of that, every 5 episodes, we will be given a new objective.
Ooh, but what is an objective, Netty?
So it could be, am I to, or maybe do you want to tell me mine now, my first one?
Ah, yes. Your first objective is that the castle is built in a jungle.
Oh, so that's my first objective. So
yes.
In 5 episodes time, I could get something else saying it needs to be in a birch forest.
Something like that, maybe.
Please don't do that.
Who knows? Maybe not.
But yeah, so this is really, really super exciting. So I guess we're going to have to go through the portals. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Look at this. This is the perfect location. We have a jungle location. Objective number 1 ticked, as long as we actually build it here. So this is perfect. You know what? I actually like it right here as well, over the water. So the 10 things that we need to tick off our list. 1, we need a pony party. 2, a courtyard. That's easy. A throne room, a lake, an armory, a kitchen, a farmland, Watchtower, game room and dungeon. So most of it is the inside of it, apart from the courtyard. I guess pony party can be inside. We could do a disco room or something like that. Lake, well, we're gonna build it on a lake, I think. The dungeon, I think, should be underwater. I think it should be down here. I think that would be really, really cool. So this is what we're going to start to do. Building a castle is actually genuinely really, really exciting for me because I've never built anything like that before. So I think it's going to end up being really good. I'm feeling sandstone. Only because I feel like it will blend in nicely to the jungle with the sand and things like that. Sandstone slabs. We'll get a bit of sandstone off of everything at the moment. And where are the stairs? There they are. We've got sandstone stairs. And then I think spruce wood goes nicely. Nice contrast. Not too dark, but nicely dark. I feel like this is what we're going to do. So what I want to do it as is I almost want like a tower over here, and then like a bridge over, and then a tower over here as well. So what I'm going to do is, because today we're going to be working on the main structure before we can get inside, I'm going to speed this video up a bit. So here we go. So for the main structure, I guess the shell, really, the shell of the castle, I want that to be camouflage. Well, not camouflage, but I want it to blend in with its surroundings. But that's why we've kind of gone for like the sandstone and the wood. So it won't stand out like a sore thumb. I want it to blend in with the jungle, I guess. Especially the fact that my objective for the whole build is jungle. I think the outside needs to be slightly jungle themed and kind of blend in, but then for the inside I want it super bright and colourful, because as you guys are aware, Sqaishey is a very bright, colourful person. She's always really happy and perky and just really good fun. So I think it being a colourful place inside is really, really important. But the outside, we want it to just kind of blend in with its natural surroundings. I think with a lot of the builds I've been doing recently, like on things like on Minecraft, in the series Minecraft Evolution, the builds on there, they've kind of stood out in their location. And so this is my first time really kind of doing something where it blends. Like when we did the community library, that was obviously a big stone, like massive stone structure that kind of stood out on the ice and things like that. And then we did the Mickey Mouse house, which again, obviously that's red and black, like that stood out like a sore thumb. And now with the biome we're creating with the large flowers and the toadstool and stuff, it's stuff that really stands out. So this is my first time kind of doing something that's a bit more blended, I guess, and even with what we did in Sqaishey's house. So if you guys aren't aware, those of you who are new to my channel or whatever, quite a long time ago, Sqaishey and I did a series together called Sqaishey's house and Netty's house. So I built her a house and she built me a house, and that was my first time ever really like building anything in creative. And I tried to go a little bit different. It didn't really look like a house. It was a big picnic bench. The rooms were kind of like in a teapot or jelly and things like that. So this is my first time kind of really going on to creative and building just anything really, like a castle or something that is actually meant to be. So I am kind of working quite hard on this, I guess, in that sense, to try and make it a bit more of an actual thing. I don't want it to be like one big castle. I don't want it to be one big building where it's kind of quite square. I want it to be almost like lots of little buildings, as you can see here, that are kind of all connected by this bridge and things like that. So we've already got one little tiny room attached to a slightly bigger room, but the rooms are going to get bigger as we go on. Today I want to work on the Watchtower, and we're going to get the courtyard area ready, or like that's what we're working on, like literally this second. So this is going to be the courtyard area, so when you come over the bridge you can kind of look down in it, but just for now we're not going to be doing the base of it. I think I'll just put wood there for now, just so we can kind of see it. So today it is more, I guess now it's not as exciting because it's more just the shell we're doing. I can't wait to do all the decorations and things like that on the inside. So this is the kind of courtyardy area. It's going to be quite big. I'm not 100% sure what to put in it yet, so you guys let me know. I did want to have a lot of like grass and flowers and things like that, but I guess a courtyard is, I always imagine a courtyard being more, I don't know, a stony floor, I guess. But I don't know. I think maybe we will use grass just for the fact of I think that will look a bit nicer. I do want to have a bit more grass around the outside rather than just sand, just because I want it to stand out a little bit. I don't want it to be sand against sandstone. We want to have like some grass there and some trees and things like that. So that's what we're doing just here. But I'm really excited about doing this. I will do some of the details, so you can kind of, because I've got a vision in my head at the moment of what I want this to look like, but obviously you guys don't know what that is, so I don't want it to be you guys can't tell my vision at all by the end of this episode. So we will be doing some of the details as well, so we're going to do a little bit on the bridge now. So I'm going to do one side of the bridge. I'll probably do the other side off camera, just so, because it's literally going to be copying what I've done on the front side, so you don't need to see that twice, do you? But yeah, we'll do that. So this will kind of frame the bridge, I guess, a little bit, just so it stands out a little bit more. We don't want it just all sandstone, because that's obviously, it's quite a bland colour, sandstone. As much as it's nice, it is a little bit bland. But you'll probably be able to tell, I kind of do something for a little bit and then I'm like, I'm not sure on it, and so I'll go away for a bit, have a little think, and then come back. So now we're working on the Watchtower. I didn't realise how scatty off a builder I am until watching this back now and talking over it. It's I start doing one thing and then I'm like, no, let's work on something else now. Let's go back to that in a minute. But yeah, so this is the Watchtower. So it needs to be really tall, so it stands out. So I'll say the list of everything we need to add again. We need a pony party, a courtyard, a throne room, a lake, an armory, a kitchen, farmland, a watchtower, and a games room, and a dungeon. So the courtyard's kind of already done. Well, we've kind of got the area ready for it. When it comes to the Watchtower, that's what we're doing now. So that will be done. The lake, we are already on a lake. So I guess that's kind of cheaty. Is that a bit cheaty? I guess we'll make some changes to it. And we'll sort that out maybe a bit later. I'll see what we can do to the lake to make it more of a thing. I am thinking the dungeon to be underwater. I think that would be really cool. Or just like kind of low. I always think a dungeon has to be underground unless we kind of went, what is it, Lord of the Rings? When they have the what show is it? I don't think it is Lord of the Rings. It might be Game of Thrones actually, where there's a dungeon and it's like on a cliff's edge. So it's completely open on one side, but you can't escape, because if you do escape, then you would obviously fall and you wouldn't survive. So I don't know whether that could be quite cool actually. Maybe that kind of thing would be good for a dungeon. Let me know what you think, whether underwater or a really high up cave. So if the person escapes, they won't survive the drop anyway. So with this room, this is just more just an example of how bright it could be, just adding a little bit of colour. I don't even know if this will exactly stay as it is. I don't think that room's really got a use. It's more just a nice little room. It will just kind of sit there and just be an extra like nice little room, I guess. So this is working on the details, so it's not just a tall tower, because at the moment it's kind of narrow and tall, and it's almost a bit two-dimensional. I know obviously it does go around the edges, but I just feel like it needs a little bit of detail just to make it stand out that bit more, especially when if you go out from the castle, like you look back, and I think that just makes it stand out so much more. I think it looks a lot better. I'm quite excited about doing the kitchen though, adding like the appliances and stuff like that, and being a bit creative with what we have. But look at that. That makes it look so much more 3D already, just by placing like one block down, one block up, one block down, one block up. And doing that, I think it almost makes it look slightly like an optical illusion. I don't know if that's just me thinking that. I think it looks like an optical illusion anyway. But I'm kind of quite pleased with that. So you go up to the Watchtower from the courtyard. So we will be doing that floor at some point. And that'll be fine. I don't know where to have the entrance in either. I haven't decided on that yet. I think maybe on the other side. So we're not quite onto that yet. We'll do that a little bit later on. But I'm kind of pleased with how it's going. I know obviously there's a lot to do still, and it's still kind of, I don't know, it's still quite plain at the moment, but hopefully by the time we finish, it will stand out that bit more, as well as blending in. I know that's a really odd, they're really contradicting things to want, but I think we're kind of achieving it. I think it stands out the right amount as it is. But because of the colours, I do think it kind of blends in a bit. We want to make sure it's all lit up nicely as well. We've got to make sure we add loads of light everywhere. But I'm not going to lie, I'm quite pleased with this. So this is what we've got so far at the moment. We'll have a little fly around just so you can see everything that we've got. So this is the courtyard area here. We've got that kind of door. I think that kind of looks like a slightly like Asian doorway kind of thing. Which is kind of quite nice. So this area here is all obviously either going to be grass or cobbly. We'll add some stuff in there. I'm thinking of doing some kind of waterfall to get down, up and down from there. And we've got a watchtower, beautiful views, fantastic views. I might build around the nether portal as well, make that look a bit nicer. Obviously we couldn't decide where that came in. But yeah, I think like looking up at the tower, I think it still looks a bit optical illusion-y. I quite like it. We need to do something with the walls. Oh, we missed 2 bits. How could we miss it? There we go, sort that out. And then we've got this area with our glass floor. I don't know whether that would look into the dungeon if we have it underground or not. And we've got a little colourful room just for now, just to see it. And then if we fly around that whole actual like kind of circumference, I guess, of what we've got so far, because at the moment I've only really shown you what it looks like from the front, but it's obviously important what it looks like from different angles as well. Like we don't want it to look really great from the front but just look really rubbish from behind. Like obviously Sqaishey's probably not going to be looking at this angle at it, but I still think it's important, especially where we're building it, to see it. But hopefully you can kind of get an idea of my vision. There's going to be a lot more kind of random builds going onto it. There even might be a build coming off the bridge at some point. I'm not too sure, but it's all going to be connected, but it's going to look like lots and lots of different things. I will sort out the edge of the bridge off camera. And then if we go around to this side, because it's quite hidden in the trees, but then it, like, you wouldn't think that there's a whole castle there, would you? Well, it's not a whole castle yet, but that just looks like one simple tower, doesn't it? And then you fly around, and then you've obviously got like the bridge, and you've got like the courtyard bit there and the little building. So I've got to admit, I'm quite pleased with what we got so far. It's kind of going to plan as well as what it probably could do. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you've got any suggestions of what you think should be added, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll add them in. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.